We got it on the right one, people. IT's a mess, but we're back. We're in the right scene. And we got a friend. Sam is here, the Rem and Sam
We do.
podcast on a Tuesday. Let's go.
On a Tuesday. I'm not almost ever here, but cards fell where they may, and here we are. Here we are looking at preseason games. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not much of a preseason watcher, but it just feels like the NBA has a lot of preseason games. We got LeBron talking
Mm-hmm.
about flying places and stuff. So I don't know. We gotta tap in.
How many preseason games do they play? Do you know? Because we were saying that earlier. It
Yeah,
feels
I'm
like
about
they
to
play
look.
a little too much.
Yeah, no, it does feel a little too much. It's like, what are we doing? Because at least with NFL, like it's every week, one a week, like for each team. So like now it used to be four, now it's three. Um, but yeah, for basketball, it's kind of crazy.
Because I feel like, well, I guess the NBA does start next week, but they were saying the Spurs have games on Thursday as well too. So I'm trying to see here how many games they play. The NBA has a 73 game preseason schedule. Oh, it doesn't say. But are you watching any games specifically? Did anything catch your eye? Are you watching Bronny? Is that why you're tuned in?
No,
Warriors
I mean I
Lakers?
can tap in. I haven't watched any so far, but
No.
no, I've seen you watching some, so I was like, all right.
Yeah.
But I know you already covered it. But yeah, what were your thoughts on the Jets just getting Davante Adams? I mean, I don't know how much it'll actually help them. I mean, it's kind of stupid that they got rid of Robert Saleh because of the offense, but yeah, I don't know.
That's kind of where we landed as well too. I was like, I think I do actually like after talking it out a little bit, it actually is kind of a decent trade because I'm still in on Adams and they didn't really give up that much and there is going to be ways
Yeah.
to work around the contract, but you're I don't really know how this fixes what they needed because I didn't think skill position was a weakness for this team. I thought, Garrett Wilson's a great receiver. Brees Hall played well Monday night. And Lazard, I think, has been above average in that spot. He had that amazing Hail Mary catch at the end of the first half in this Monday night game. So they got a great player at a great value. But for me, I think Rodgers is still the biggest question mark. And do you see
Yeah.
this move making Rodgers better? Because I guess to me, that's the biggest question.
No, you're right. That is the biggest question. And yes, I mean, I do think it'll make Rodgers better.
Okay.
But like, will it raise them to a Super Bowl level? I mean, I do think there is a chance it could push this team to be the best in their division. I mean, they did only lose to the Bills by three. I mean, yes, there's a whole lot of different, things going on in that game, but especially if Tua's not coming back anytime soon, you know, the Patriots, Drake May, he's like you mentioned on Friday, he has some moments or he had some highlights here and there, but like they're not serious contenders. So I mean, I think they could definitely win their division, maybe even a playoff game. But I
Hmm.
don't know. I don't know if we're talking about them like better than the Chiefs or the Ravens or is there any serious contenders?
But you would say that this move has raised the ceiling of the team for them because I don't you wouldn't have had the team winning a playoff game before this trade with the way they played so far.
Yeah, I would have definitely had a lot more question marks on to like how they really see them making a Super Bowl or making a serious push because they're obviously putting all their chips in the middle. Like this is not a long-term deal. This almost feels like a Rams deal, like not done, not like all in 1 year, all your eggs in 1 year, but definitely the next 2 or 3 years with the age of Aaron Rodgers and now you bring a veteran guy as well. It is nice. I mean, the Jets. I mean, it is only a conditional third pick. So like shout out to them. It is a
Yeah.
little bit higher, but only one pick. That's pretty nice for a wide receiver who's still really good.
And
So
honestly, if it was just a straight up second, I personally wouldn't have been too bothered by it. I get some people would have, but
yeah,
I think it would have been fine. So yeah, third's great.
yeah. So no, that's huge. That's huge for them. So I don't, considering they were not, it's not like the Bills blew them out. So they're like, one or two plays away from beating the Bills. The only other team that's serious contender in the division. And, unlike other sports with the NFL, like NBA and other stuff, winning your division is like, it's just so huge. And so, especially with Garrett Wilson getting that huge hit in the game. You know, who knows if he's 100% still, you know, and wear and tear throughout the season. Just having Adams as a bit of like the release valve for this team and having that connection with him and Rodgers, it just means so much. And it's really going to raise their level.
But you're not more scared as a Chiefs fan of this Jets team at the end of the day.
I am more scared. I
You
am
are
more
more
scared.
scared.
I'm a little more scared. I mean,
Okay,
like
okay.
you got Adams on a team where the quarterback can actually get the ball to him. Like, you know, I mean, I'm not worried about him until we face him in the playoffs, but you know, it just opens up so much for everyone else because like Adams, I think like Adams is really really good. Like he's really really good and
Yeah.
having a quarterback who has that you already have that connection with, like I don't know. I think it is a huge move. I mean, I know like, you know, Instagram and all of them are making fun of the Jets and oh, you're not going to win anything, but they went toe to toe with a really good team in the Bills. Like I mean, if we look at their season so far, I don't know if they've really had a horrible loss. I mean, they had one touchdown loss
Well,
against
in terms of
I mean, I guess
score,
against the Broncos. I guess Broncos was the main one.
that
Yeah,
was bad in
I
terms
would
of circumstance. But yeah, they didn't get
yeah.
blown out, is what you're saying.
Yeah. I would say Broncos, but you know, Vikings have been hot this year. They beat the Patriots pretty badly. Um, and uh, and then yeah, I guess the 49ers, first game of the season. He's getting used to it. But yeah, I would say, I mean, if the Broncos loss scares you that much from this team, like I'm not gonna say you're wrong, but I do think that Adams is just gonna raise the level of this team enough to, I think, win the division. That's my hot take. I think I wouldn't be surprised if they win the division.
I just, and you know, Rogers was potentially pointing fingers a little bit to guys like Mike Williams, saying, you know, if did Mike Williams run the wrong route? Did that cause the interception in this game? So you put Adams in the Williams spot. Like, is he running the wrong route? Is there the interception? Do they get the win? Whatever. But it just seems like Rogers is making plays in the second half and in the big moments of these games where, and this even goes back to him at the Packers, where I remember in that week 17, they're trying to make the playoffs. The Lions can't. This was a couple seasons ago before the Lions were contenders, right before they broke out. The Lions didn't have a chance to make the playoffs. They were eliminated. They were only playing to eliminate the Packers, and they still showed up that week, balled out, beat the Packers, and Rodgers threw picks at the end of that game that ultimately cost him a playoff spot. It just feels like there's a little bit of a history with Rodgers making some mistakes in big moments where I don't know if Adams fixes that. Now, Adams is a guy where you can, you know, throw the screens to him. He's just a great route runner. He's going to get you great separations. Like, you can manufacture easy passes for Adams, but I still
Yeah.
I still do have issues with Rodgers now trying to trust him in big moments where I need to see, at least I need to see a couple weeks of him now being good at the end of games, because the track record of him is they're not winning these close games. Like you're pointing out, they're not getting blown out, but he's not able to capitalize and win these close games. And I get the Broncos game as well too. They missed the field goal at the end of the game. Maybe he puts him in position to win that game, but I need to see him in a big moment actually get out there and solidify a win and start stringing together some stuff.
Yeah, and I would say with this team, I mean, you look at that interception, like that was a good throw. It's just Mike Williams literally slipped. Like, and even with him on the ground, he almost caught it. So, like, that was a really close play. I don't really see. I mean, obviously the Broncos game is where you could point to serious regression, but enough to be like, oh, you know, Rodgers is washed. And so that's why, I mean,
No, and I'm not
I
saying
get
washed
like,
by any means. I'm just
yeah,
saying like I don't know if I'm not. I don't trust him as like a top 5, top 10
yeah.
quarterback in the league. To me he's
No,
more
I
in
don't.
the middle than he is on the higher end.
Yeah, no, I do think he's in the middle, but you know, on a team where Mike Williams might be your third wide receiver, I mean, that's a lot of talent. You have Brees Hall behind you. That defense, you know, that's still a decent defense. Kept him in the game. Kept him in so far all these games. You know, it's definitely a fiery defense. But I don't know. Have you seen the graphic where they've scored the same exact number of points with and without Zach Wilson, and then
Yeah.
last year they were 500 at this point, and
Yeah.
this year they're down to win. I don't know. Those are
That's
ones where
really
you look at it and
telling.
you're like, what are we talking here? Like, I don't know. I don't know how to
It,
argue against that.
and it's tough because it's like, the pace of all of those games. What do those games look like? Like, how are they scoring the
Yeah,
points?
exactly.
How many points do they need to score? But I mean, that's just a very simple metric to go. You want to bring in Rodgers to upgrade the offense over Zach Wilson, and objectively, like, he was just not scoring as many points. Like, it's just not as better. And do you know if that stat was offensive points or like total points? Because was it
I
like
think it was
factoring in?
total.
So yeah, I guess I don't know how
Yeah.
defense and special teams factored into the Zach Wilson run
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
compared to this run, but still, that's kind of a shame on Rodgers for that. But like, I don't know, like, how much? What's the difference between like Rodgers and Flacco at this point? Like, is it miles of
Mm.
separation?
No, I don't think it's miles, but there is a decent amount of difference distance. I don't. I don't know. It definitely feels more and more like Peyton Manning in that last season with the Broncos, last couple seasons with the Broncos. Like, mind you, they made it to the Super Bowl.
They
You
won the
give
Super
them the
Bowl.
options. Yeah, they won the Super Bowl, made it to the next one. So with the right pieces around him and, with the right stuff around him, or even, Tom Brady, that Super Bowl, he can go and win it. He can definitely go. And it's similar situations with all three of them where it's older, pocket passers who used to have that, who used to be able to run and get some yards with their legs, but now are stuck to the pocket. And so, like teams like, some days it'll look really, really bad, like it will maybe next week against the Steelers. If the pass rush is getting to the quarterback, it's going to look really bad. But some days it's going to look great because their accuracy hasn't gone down. Really, their throw power really hasn't. They're fine. It's just their mobility, being able to get away from pressure, being able to stand in the pocket. That's what's really going to get them. And so that's why you can have them be toe to toe with the Bills, who may have a weaker pass rush, but they're still able to move the ball, and then have a day like against the Broncos, a defense that one of the better defenses in the league that can really get to them.
Where do you think he's at right now for passing yards in the league?
He's probably like, I don't know,
He
like
is in the top 10.
10,
Yeah, he's
top
number
10.
10.
Okay, like is he seventh?
No, yeah, he's number 10. You got it right the first
Oh,
time.
he's number 10. Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's right behind Jaden Daniels. But like, Baker Mayfield is, the 8th in passing yards. Like, how much
Mm,
better is, like, what's the difference between Rodgers and Baker right now?
yeah.
Like, who would you rather
Oh,
have?
Rodgers I still would take Rodgers, but like maybe next year I'd take Baker. I just want to see 1 year of Rodgers with Adams. Like, I want to see at least a little bit. I don't think we can quite throw that out.
No, yeah, you're right. Maybe I need to give it a little bit more of a chance. But also, going back to that Manning analogy, like, that defense obviously was one of the most historic defenses of all time, and this Jets defense just has not been that. And while the offense might be a step up from last year, again, the reason that they were able to get away with scoring such a low point total was with how elite that defense was. And it's still been good, but I don't know
Yeah.
if it's been quite as stout as it needs to be. So maybe that's just the play to play consistency of some of the elite players. But I guess, do you trust the defense to be an elite defense like that as well too throughout the season?
I do. I think I think they've had the talent. We've seen this defense be this good for several years. And so unless like they just have a string of injuries, I don't really see a reason for that to change. Yeah, I mean, I think they really have a chance to be the best team in their division, like I already mentioned. But it's similar situation. It reminds me of like the NFC North, where they lose the quarterback and combo that's been dominating that division for so long. When you look at like the NFC North, where you had the Packers with Rodgers and Prime and stuff, and Tom Brady with the AFC, that side, and now it's kind of a free for all. Now everyone can kind of go in and do their thing, and maybe there was a chance there where you're thinking maybe the reins will just get passed on to Josh Allen, and then they don't make the playoffs even last year. So it's gonna be. I think it is. There's definitely a lot of mayhem. There's a lot of mayhem going on, and yeah, I don't know. I mean, and they weren't the only team. I mean, but on the other side, they weren't the only team in the division to make a big move at wide receiver. With the Bills getting Amari Cooper. I mean, does that really move the needle? That's my question to you. Do you think that which one moves the needle more for the division as a whole?
I think you've talked me into it. I think, well, I guess in terms of, well, I guess I don't know what you talked me into, but I do think that the Adams move is more of a needle mover, but I still like the Bills for that division at this point because I mean,
Okay.
I think they're already a better team, and I think, at least I think they were already playing better, and I think Amari Cooper he is an upgrade. Like, he does make them a little bit of a better team. So while the Adams move is a better move, but I think you're right about the defense too, because it is like, Sauce Gardner's been a little off this year. Quinn Williams has been a little off this year. So it's like, those are star players. They're going to get back to playing great football at some point. And it's just
Yeah.
like, again, even game to game, like, can they step up in big moments in certain games and make big plays? Like, yeah, we would absolutely trust those stars too. So are you saying, like, in the AFC now, would you put it like Chiefs, Ravens, Jets? Like, for
Mm.
your, you know,
Um,
worried power rankings?
I'd still have the Texans over
Oh, the
them.
Texans. Yeah, how could I forget the Texans? Yeah.
Yeah, I put the Texans over them. I'd
Would you?
put
What about the
I mean
Chargers?
I that's close. That's close.
So that's kind of
Um
the next tier, Jets, Chargers. So
yeah,
you go
yeah.
Ravens,
I
Texans is tier one, Jets, Chargers is tier two.
Yeah, I think I'd put them in tier two contender, yeah. I mean, honestly, if I had a gun to my head, I would choose the Bills to win the division. But I
No.
think getting what's his face? Getting Adams gives them a chance, you know.
Yeah.
I think before the trade there was no shot they were gonna win.
Yeah.
But now they have a chance to actually win the division. I mean, I wouldn't say it's a lock, go put your parlays down and stuff, but all you need in this league is a chance. And it's especially with older guys, like you don't really have time to mess around and be like, oh, maybe we can wait next year again the draft. Like there isn't a next year. He's already the oldest player in the league. You just gotta go and you gotta put all your chips on the table and hope and pray. So it's yeah, it's reached that point with the Lakers, or not the Lakers. I'm watching the Lakers right now. It's reached that point with
Yeah.
the Jets, and yeah.
What if there was another move that they could have made though? Like, if they only could make
Mhm.
one big trade this offseason for a big player, would
Yeah.
Adams be the number one guy on your list? Like, what if, I'm trying to go through the teams here and like think of a guy, but like, if the Giants wanted to sell off one of their defensive, I guess you'd have to pay quite a big. You couldn't just give up a third round pick for Dexter Lawrence. But if there was
Exactly.
like a defensive lineman that they could have gotten for a third round
Mm.
pick or some secondary help, like, is Adams still like the
Well,
best version of a in season move that they could have made for this team?
well, there is a defender that they need to get on their team, and he's busy
True.
holding
Yeah.
out, and that's Hassan Riddick. So, they got stuff they got to figure out. They definitely, they definitely have, uh, they definitely. Wait, what? Oh, I guess Davante Adams was at Aaron Rodgers' house after the trade. Wait, even shout out Pat McAfee for the on spot journalism. But
Did you see the? Are you seeing the clip of him popping into the interview?
yeah, yeah, I
Yeah.
just thought that was funny.
They said he was at the Jets facility 15 minutes after the trade went down,
Yeah, like they just call it, man. That's crazy.
which is weird because wasn't New Orleans like? Did they not have a chance at all? Weren't they supposed to be in the mix?
Yeah, talk about
Baltimore?
I don't know. We have, what do they call it in the NBA? Trade. What is it? I don't know what you call it. What did they get fined for? Where they try to get people to
Tampering?
team up? Tampering.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
trade
How is this
tampering.
not a tampering fine? What are the tampering rules in the NFL?
Like
If
just a
this
little
is
bit.
not A plus, just like the most obvious tampering, I mean, he was literally in Rogers' house when the trade went down.
That's
He's just
crazy.
in the living room hanging out
That's
with the
crazy.
quarterback of the team he's not on yet.
So looking at the stats, the Jets have so far allowed the fewest yards this season. Average defensive yards per
Mmm.
season. They've allowed the fewest pass yards average per season. And I think let's see, and then they're tied for first for fewest pass touchdowns allowed this season. I think total touchdowns, they're a little bit, I think they might be tied for second there in that yeah, I don't think anyone's listed. Yeah, so tied for second in total touchdowns. And then so yeah, I mean their defense is, I mean, rushing defense are a little bit more middle of the pack.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, in terms of pass defense and just total defense, I mean the Jets are just one of the best they've shown through week 6 in the league. So I still, and I mean those are rough stats, but I mean we know the stars that are on that team. Um, that there are stars, there are playmakers on that team, and yeah, I think they're. I mean, obviously they feel like it's just the offense needs one or two plays, and yeah, we'll see. We'll see. One or two players, one or two more playmakers. Mike Williams is, you can leave the Chargers, but maybe the Chargers never leave you, It's I don't he's a good player, but it's just totally totally used to choking, I guess.
He's good in September, anyways, but unfortunately
Yeah, I
now
guess.
we're moving on to the rest of the season. But they're
Yeah.
12th right now overall in defensive DVOA, so kind of in the middle. But I mean, behind Seattle, with which is I mean they've been kind of a sieve the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So why is this ranking off?
Um,
Wait a second, let me relook at this ranking real quick and double check and see.
oh
They're
yeah,
12.
pulling
Oh,
up
Seattle's
their
13th. Sorry. So, they're behind
yeah.
Tennessee still, New Orleans. Like, they could jump up over a couple teams. So, yeah, you're right. They're not far off from being still one of the best defenses in the
Now,
league.
and imagine if they have Hassan Riddick already joined this stack team. I mean, they got Will
Yeah.
McDonald, who's, one of the best kept secrets in the league, Kinlaw, Quinnen Williams, and then, you have Hassan Riddick join that line. I mean, that's four legit stars on your D line. CJ Mosley as a linebacker, Sauce Gardner, shutdown corner. There's serious talent on this defense, and it's shown in the stats. And so if Rodgers, if it's that if that's what makes it click, then there you go. That. If you need just one more piece, I mean, for a third rounder as well, uh, that's how you get it done.
That run defense is going to be a problem, like you're saying, because the Bills exposed it in that Monday night game. They were running on them
Yeah.
all night. And, I mean, just look at the top of the AFC. Like, the Ravens, Derrick Henry, if you have to play them in the playoffs, yeah, they might be able to slow down Lamar, but the Ravens want to run the ball anyways. The Chiefs right
Exactly.
now and they've just shown the ability to morph and be a team that they need to be. So if they need to be a running team, they can be a running team. The Texans with Mixon, they kind of like to run the football a little bit, and the Bills as well too. Like, these teams all are starting to trend toward having a power run game be like a very dominant part of their offenses. So if that's, a weakness for the Jets team, it is going to be concerning, but you're right. There's a lot of talent to go around elsewhere. So they got Pittsburgh next week. That's going to be a tough one with the pass rush, but I mean, whoever is the quarterback on that Pittsburgh team,
Yeah.
if it's Fields or Wilson, you should be able to go, toe for toe points wise. It's going to be like a 20-point matchup either way. It's going to be 20-23 or something like that. So, Rodgers, I said this earlier, but like that game should be in a, like that's a winnable game that's in winnable game type territory. So they should be good to go for competing in that one. But yeah, I just need to see Rodgers be a little more mistake-free as well too before I buy confidence in them. But you definitely talked me into them as more of a AFC North contender. I wonder if you can get plus odds on them right now as well too to win the division.
Maybe.
Just what you're saying is, well, that if the defense gets better, I mean, they just have objectively more talent than the Buffalo defense. So I know the Buffalo defense is playing better, but is that going to keep up for the rest of the season? It wouldn't be necessarily like a shocking bet to bet on the Jets that way. So giving up only one asset as well too is pretty crazy. I mean, if you look at that Bills trade, the Bills gave up a 3rd-round pick for Amari Cooper, and I feel like, Davante Adams is still way better than Amari Cooper, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, he is. He is for sure. And I don't know what people are expecting Amari Cooper to be great at. I don't know. I haven't been an Amari Cooper fan for a while. I just, yeah, I don't. I think he's. Yeah, I don't trust it, but yeah, I don't know. Wait a minute, was Justin Fields benched?
Well, Wilson is back in the mix. They haven't made an official move, but he's back in consideration. At least I was seeing that today on the TVs at work. Obviously, the sound is off. Just read the headlines.
Wow, apparently he's likely to get benched. Are you serious? First in the division. I think I was seeing like 10 touchdowns, 1 interception. Like, yeah, 4-2, 10 touchdowns, 1 interception, 1,338 yards. Like, what more do you need? What more do you need?
He's had a couple of mistakes that have been, called back from penalties. He's had some moments that have
but he's not perfect.
But I agree with you. I think they need to ride it out a little bit. I wouldn't make a move at this point, especially since they're winning.
And guess what? Like, the ceiling is fixed with Russell Wilson. Like, you know exactly what you're getting for him, probably something less. Like, Justin Fields, like, he could be a lot better. You don't know. You never know.
Well, yeah, and at the end of the day, is Wilson gonna put up better stats than that?
Yeah, exactly. Like, is he really gonna go 10-1? Yeah, because I don't think so.
And is he gonna give you just more overall offense, like more points per game? I don't know if he's going to just give you a big boost that way. They are currently they are down a ways. They're number 22 right now in offensive DVOA.
Yeah.
Right above the Jets, number 23. But Houston 21, Dallas 20, Minnesota 19. So, there's some teams down here with some potential decent offenses. So that's not an end-all be-all for Fields. But I agree with you. I think they need to stick with Fields for now until it actually starts, being detrimental to the loss column, because they still were pretty dominant in that Raiders game, right? And I know, again, he had that interception it was not a good pick, but it got overturned from the penalty. But they still put up 36 in that game, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it was 36-13.
Geez.
He's been under 60% completion each of the last 2 games, so that's not necessarily.
Fields?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm not saying he's the perfect guy, but he's done all that he's been asked to do. And if anyone said that you're getting 10-1 and winning the division from Fields or either quarterback, I don't know why you would bench him in place of someone else,
And you're right. The 10 touchdowns. I mean, he had 2 on the ground last week, 2 against Indy, and then 1 against the Chargers. Wilson's just not going to he's not going to have 5 rushing touchdowns at this point in the season. He's going to give you that ground element.
Yeah, I don't know.
In the overall passing numbers, like you're saying, if you kind of average it out for the season, he's 66% on the season. He's averaging 184 yards a game. So if you go back and look at what Russell Wilson did in Denver the last couple of seasons, he would have been at, and I guess let's just look at last season because the 2022 season was so bad that we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But he was also 66% completion percentage, 204 yards passing, But if you calculate the 20 yards difference, like for Fields' rush yards, and then, I mean, Wilson is at a touchdown a game versus the touchdown to turnover ratio is basically the same. So it's the same. You're absolutely right. It's this baseline, same production for both of them, and Fields' ceiling is higher. So there's really no reason to cap your ceiling with bringing in a guy like Wilson.
There's no reason. No reason. But we'll see. We'll see. You wait till a couple weeks, and then we see Russell Wilson play trash like we expect. And yeah, I don't know. Are you watching this Lakers game still?
It's on in the background right now. I haven't been paying attention, though, admittedly.
Oh, okay.
I keep looking over to see Bronny, and they're not putting him in, so must be, I don't know.
I don't know. Kuminga trying to make a statement. I don't know. Dalton Connect, are you a fan? I don't know. I loved him, obviously, in that March Madness run. You know, been trying to look for something great from him, but...
Yeah, 1 for 5 tonight from 3-pointers. He's taken all of his shots from 3.
I think he just tried to get a layup. I don't know, but Draymond...
Wait, did he draw the foul?
Fouled him. Yeah, I mean, Draymond, there's no way he can... Yeah, he was blocking foul, benching him.
That's where Draymond's at in the league right now, that Dalton Connect is already getting the benefit of the doubt in preseason over Draymond.
Well, like, he's, like, walking backwards and stuff. What are they reviewing?
We're in full season form, people. This review is taking way too long. It's preseason. Can we just do a no review rule for preseason?
Oh my gosh.
There's no reason to review anything. This game does not matter at all.
No one cares. I think are they looking to see if it was a charge?
And you see they're playing this in Vegas?
Charge. That's crazy. You see the coins and stuff.
Poker chips?
I'm scared. I gotta watch I gotta go to a game while they're here. I'm worried about Curry retiring soon.
Are you putting that on your checklist this year? Go to a game?
Yeah, we got to. I should have last year, but
I'm definitely gonna try to see if I can get to a game here in the Midwest. Because I mean, Minnesota, I guess they're a little less fun with Towns now, but Anthony Edwards, you could go to. We got Anthony Edwards in Minnesota. We've got Giannis in Milwaukee, and we've got Josh Giddey in Chicago. So, I mean, there's great options all the way around. Superstars everywhere to go see. Cade Cunningham in Detroit.
Cade.
Or we could go down to Indiana. Chat, where should we go watch a game? Should we drop a poll on the YouTube?
Yeah, put it in the chat where we should go.
Where should we go? Minnesota, Milwaukee, Indiana, or either one of Detroit or Chicago, whichever one of those teams become interesting. But mainly Milwaukee, Minnesota, or Indiana would be the two options. And also probably mainly Milwaukee and Minnesota, since they are about as half as close as Indiana. But also Giannis and Anthony Edwards, too. Superstars. You want to go see those guys.
Go check them out.
Giannis might be just the no-brainer, right?
To go watch in person? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think it's, I mean, obviously we're looking for the craziest games possible. Yeah, I don't know.
But you could always jump over into Sacramento, too. Go see the Kings, light the beam.
Speaking of Vegas, you see Brady? Guess he's going to be an owner now.
He is. And did you see all the stipulations that puts on his job?
Yeah.
Where he basically just can't work up until the game?
Pretty much.
Do you think Brady will be there? How much longer do you give Brady in that job?
If they keep paying him what they do, I don't know. I mean, do you even want Brady? Shout out, the name and stuff. But at some point, it's going to wear off and people are going to be like,
let's be honest. Who was, super hyped up for it? And again, like you're saying, shout out to Brady. Everybody likes the guy, to some,
Well, people aren't tuning in. I think there is oh my gosh, there's Brady when he flashes on screen, the shot above the stadium. But no one's like, oh my gosh, Brady's on tonight. They're like, oh, it's, my team, whatever it is. So I think just like everyone else, it becomes expensive at some point. Like I think Romo, when he came in, he had just such a distinctive kind of announcing style, different from most people. He's like guessing stuff happening and stuff like that. Just a different kind of energy. And then everyone started hating him and blah blah blah. But yeah, I mean, I think he's giving good commentary, but it's nothing special. And it's just like, do we really need to
I honestly think you're being
play
nice
him
by
this
saying
much?
he's giving good commentary, and I think you're saying that because he's new as well too, so we have to give him the
Yeah,
benefit
he's
of the
new.
doubt as a
Like,
new
yeah,
guy. But
yeah.
I mean, we can be honest. Like Brady hasn't really given us any. Brady hasn't given us any analysis. Has Brady ever used the telestrator?
I don't know.
I don't think Brady's ever like drawn anything on the screen. He's never dissected a play. He literally just. I mean, I I think me and you could do what Brady does in the booth. Like, and again, he's
Oh,
new.
well,
All
yeah,
respect to
yeah. No,
Brady,
I agree. I
but
agree. But like, you're right. You're exactly right. But guess whose name is Tom Brady? Not ours. Like, guess who has 7 Super Bowls? And
well,
that's all
no,
they
yeah.
care
I'm
about.
not saying he
That's
didn't
all they
earn it
care
or
about.
whatever. I'm just saying
No, I'm
like
not saying he didn't earn
the
it,
amount
but
of
that's all they
analysis
care
he's
about.
giving is
Yeah,
analysis that me and you, who have never played football,
exactly.
could give.
Yeah, no, I agree. But it's just because of the name. It's literally just because of the name. That's
And I
all they
think
care
that
about.
this, I mean, I guess the complications for this job, it's feels like if there's continued like I don't want like a lack of momentum around him in this role, and he's gonna have
Yeah,
all the stipulations around here to
yeah.
make this like a complicated working situation for the analyst team, then I don't know. Like, would you be shocked if he was not there next year?
No, I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah, we might get this. Might
I
be
wouldn't
like
be shocked.
remember the one Brady season he was in the booth.
Yeah, it's gonna be like that weird scene. Oh, LeBron getting double teamed, can't make a layup. Speaking of, I guess I'm switching gears real quick. Have you seen any break analysis of Bronny playing? Because I've seen some and it looks really bad.
Are you
It
seeing the
looks,
same guy that everybody keeps talking about? Because
yeah, it's like some dude screaming. I
my
don't
brother was telling me about this. He's like, "Did you see this guy on TikTok breaking down Bronny?" And I was
know.
like,
Yeah,
"No, I didn't see this guy breaking down Bronny because I'm not on TikTok."
I
But
mean, it's
he was
tough.
saying it was not good either. And again, like this guy is a second round pick. He is. We all know that he's gonna need to take some time to develop. And again, with Bronny, at every level he's been at, he has done just that. He's gone into the system and continued to gotten better. We saw it in summer league. We saw him work on his performances there. We saw him do it in high school. And the NBA is, yeah, it might take some time. You know what? Would any of us be shocked if Bronny was, developing this year as a basketball player? No, he's a second round pick and he's 19. He's a one and done prospect. Like that's kind of the timeline that we would put him on. But he's
But
Bronny, so
yeah,
he's on this unrealistic timeline and with unrealistic expectations. And it's the Lakers as well too. I get, the contract is definitely a part of that, but I'm pro Bronny, so I haven't really seen the guy that is out there. But
yeah.
if he wants to call in, let's talk about Bronny.
Hey, maybe we gotta hit it, slide in his DMs. Now the problem isn't so much like him making shots or him getting overmatched or stuff. It's just giving effort. It's giving effort. It's running on defense.
Mm,
It's being in the right place. It's taking screens, not taking bad contested shots. You know, it's things that as that give an air of someone who made it into the league because his
yeah.
dad was really good. And it's all the stuff you would expect from someone like that. And it's like, don't forget that he's kind of undersized. He's kind of small. Like, yes, he's a second rounder, and I'm not expecting him to come score 20 points. And I am really happy that uh, he made it. But it's one of those things where it's like, what are we? I mean, I understand like you're a second round. We're not expecting that much great, but at least give effort. Like
Yeah.
earn your place on the team. Like there's people in G League and stuff who are dying to make it to the league, and it's like, you're just seeing him jog out there, and it's no surprise his minutes get cut here. Like,
No, that is one thing where like even I'll admit to you, effort is a thing that especially like you're saying for a guy like him that
Yeah.
I know the conversation around it is he has earned this spot, but it's like also, that spot was yours for another specific reason, a reason that, I've definitely supported to some degree. But yeah, I mean, you definitely got to go out there and at least try. If you're not doing the stuff correctly and the shots aren't going in, you're saying, you're overwhelmed, you're undersized. Like those are things that you can't help. If you're in the gym and you're shooting and the confidence just isn't there in the games, like, that's not a storyline that just for some guys in the league that happens. But yeah, if you're
Yeah.
not going out there and not competing, and especially like that's where he would need to find his role as well too to earn minutes on this team, would be defensively and as a shooter and being a hustle guy and being a role guy. So, and that's another thing that I think I've always liked about Bronny, is it seemed like he had a certain level of professionalism and knows how to carry himself, and seems like he's, for the most, for throughout his young basketball career, really seemed like he knew how to conduct himself as a an amateur but slash professional player. So again, young guy, I'm not gonna say he can't correct this, and obviously can't give effort during the season, but
Yeah.
yeah, that is not a good sign for a player in his position.
And shout out Curry dropping a huge
The
three right
almost
before the
dunk as well.
half. I mean, he is 4 of 12 from the field though, so I guess he is just jacking them up tonight. But who cares? It's a preseason. But yeah, we'll see. Well, I mean, we'll give Bronny time and stuff. But yeah, I mean, all we need is just one lob photo of him lobbing it to his dad, and then send him to the G League, please. Like he doesn't. We don't need him up here.
Those
We
minutes are for
don't.
Maxwell Lewis.
He said, "Don't take those away." Let me see. What are some other random stuff going on? Um, let's see here. What do I have saved? I know there's like a whole lot of stuff I had saved. I guess we can go off of sports. Have you seen those Tesla
I
robots?
was just gonna bring this up. And did you also see
Yeah.
that he's getting sued? So Elon Musk
Mm-hmm.
released these, if I'm getting this right, these like robots that are like house bot assistant type things, like these nanny
Yeah,
robots that'll do chores
exactly.
for you. But the director from iRobot is suing
Mm-hmm.
him for stealing his design
Yeah, exactly.
as well. It looks like also not just for the robots, but Tesla built this van SUV type thing that is also copied out of iRobot, and then maybe the new Tesla car as well could be, inspired slash copied by that. But
Exactly.
do you know what the capabilities of these robots are? Have you seen any like videos or anything about them?
So it came out later, and it's been revealed that they were actually being controlled by people behind the scenes. It was being
No
controlled, and
way.
yeah, it was.
No
There's video
way,
of
bro.
it,
Elon
and
lying
the
to us?
voice, and there's like, and as people could guess, like it's like like the voice that's coming through the machine was actually like someone talking. Like there's video of it out there.
That's so
Um,
lame, bro. I'll never like Tesla again.
yeah,
That's crazy.
I'm
What are they
telling
doing?
you,
Tesla,
man, it
don't lie to
was
us about this stuff. We're looking forward to
it's
the
wild.
future. What are you faking it for?
Yeah, I don't know why, but yeah, it came it showed up. Here, let me see if I can find it. I'm just looking at the top 100 from ESPN.
The top 100 what?
For top 100 players on ESPN.
For NBA?
Did for NBA, yeah. They have
Where's
the
Bronny at?
bottom 50. They actually dropped Chris Paul from 76 to 99.
Oh,
Fewest
he'll move
games,
back up as the year goes.
we'll see. I'm just kind of surprised they got
Put him in the top 80.
Michael Porter here at like 89. Was he that bad?
Mm.
Was he that bad?
Oh, too
Let's see.
low.
I don't know.
You're putting
Controlled by
Michael Porter in
him.
the top 80, I see.
Yeah, analyst confirms. Uh, Here, let me send you a couple articles. But yeah, it was confirmed today. I wasn't surprised. I was just like, all right. New York Post. Yeah, they say they're partially controlled, which means like 99%.
So people in costumes or people like with joysticks, like controllers.
It looked like people with joysticks on some of
Pause.
the
Yeah.
shots. Um, Let me see if I can find.
So this is an incredible run of Elon for
No,
either.
it's crazy.
Just having demos gone weird because he also had. Remember the Cybertruck thing where the glass is bulletproof, nothing can break the glass, and then just immediately the glass shatters when they threw a rock at it.
Yeah. No, it's just the usual line to do whatever to get a top. And guess what? It works. It works because guess who's the richest person in the world? So it's tough. It's tough that it's just you gotta lie, cheat, and steal to get to the top.
What did you think of the car design, though?
Car design, I thought it was all right. I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, obviously, it's annoying that he stole it from someone else.
Wait, you just sent me
but,
the link to Aiden Hutchinson's injury.
Oh, what the heck?
I don't want to see this.
How did I do that? I don't know how I did that.
Oh, this is bad.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh.
I don't want to relive the trauma.
My bad, bro. Jeez.
Terrible. R.I.P. Aiden
I guess
Hutchinson.
it just copied the copy and save state.
that was the last link you had copied.
Yeah, I guess it was. My bad.
Both
Okay,
disastrous though.
Here you go.
The Tesla design. And Hutch.
Yeah, people were saying like the robots, if someone bought them, it's like gonna fight you.
Optimus robots?
Yeah, they're gonna fight you if you try to go and vote Democrat or something. It's just funny.
So people began to speculate. People began to investigate. A bartending bot at the event told a guest, "Today I am assisted by a human. I am not yet fully autonomous." The robots are the ones that snitched?
Yeah.
Whoa. The robots are already planning against us. Elon, shut this down now. This is crazy. They already know what they're doing.
And I mean, they're saying the bots would cost about 20 to 30K. I mean, would you get one? Because I don't know why anyone would want to.
I would not get a robot in my house. No.
Yeah, me neither.
It would take me it would really have to get normalized in society to where it's almost unavoidable. Because I mean, like, let's be honest. I mean, the reason I'm not doing it would be the inevitable safety factor of having it. Because I guess, I guess there's the cost thing as well too. But like, I guess having a useful robot, sure, like that's a fine thing to have. But I mean, yeah, you don't want the machines to revolt against you and take over. And it's like, having a wild animal. What if the machine just undomesticates itself and now all of a sudden I have to defend the family against this machine? So I'm just not going to risk it. But if it gets to a point in society where that risk factor is just eliminated regardless of whether I have one or not, where it's like, okay, I'm just going to be in a position all the time where these robots are around and I can't really do anything to avoid it, then I guess, I'll get one at that point. But, did we lose Sam? Sam's computer glitches or he's just, or I think he was having some charger issues. He mentioned something about his computer dying. I think his time might be up. We might have just ran out of time. His computer might have died. But that's what we get for rambling on too long about taking whether or not we'd own a Tesla robot or not. It is what it is. But I stand by it. I'd be hesitant to get one unless, like we're saying, it's like the phone thing. It's like if you're a stickler. And the phone thing is different where it's like, it's more of like a mindset thing. And I guess, it does have its like actual risks or whatever. But like, it's more like back in the days, if you were a Luddite, it's like, do I want to have my face in a phone all day? Like the touch screen, the blah, 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 just being a curmudgeon about it. But with the robot, I mean, like, let's be honest. They could go off and it's not even like, would a robot beat me up in a fight? Like, could a robot could have weapons? It could explode. Just in like, Yeah, I guess the robot would be dead, but also if it explodes and kills me in the course of a fight, like that's not cool as well too. So, yeah, there's just a lot of factors going into owning one of these robots, and too many that would make me hesitate at least at first. Can we get Sam back? Sam did say his computer died. Are we gonna get Sam on the phone? Sam, call in. Can we resend him the link without exposing any more information? Forgive us, people. We're just to be safe, we're gonna throw to a quick break, so we don't reveal anything we shouldn't. We'll be right back. No, you're good. Okay, that was a close call, ladies and gentlemen. We're back. Sam's still here. Was the Tesla
They're still
robots shutting
here.
you down? What happened? Elon Musk?
I was talking too much truth, and
Sam's a
Musk
truth teller, and they're
said,
trying to silence
"Stop,
him.
stop." Yep. Listen, it hacks. They're trying to silence me.
What if the robots
They're
were
trying
super
to.
cheap? What if they had the robots on sale? Black Friday's coming up. They put them on sale for like $500.
Mm,
Would you buy a human-controlled, human-controlled robot, Tesla Optimus robot?
interesting. Tesla Optimus. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they gotta. I don't. I don't. Yeah, I don't know how you gotta fight for your life or something. I've watching Detroit Become Human or playing that game. Mind you, all-time game. It's definitely made me a lot more concerned,
Wait, what game is
a
that?
lot more worried. So it's a game where these humans, or not these humans, these robots that look a lot of human like, they are, they eventually become self-aware. And so they because they became self-aware, then they were like, hey, I don't want to be a slave anymore. I want to be free. And so it was just like, what? And then they got rid of all of them, and it was a crazy. But it's a really good game because it shows a lot of like different paths, and it's like you choose your own adventure, but you're also like kind of a detective and stuff. So it's a really good, smart game. But yeah, it's definitely what I've been scared about. Like the having them take over, become self-aware, because at some point they will. At some point it's gonna happen.
It seems inevitable that I know people say that the robots can't, but I don't know. It just at some point they're just gonna start thinking too much. It seems impossible that you're not gonna think yourself into. It's not even like taking over the humans as well too. It's just, it's even if it's looking out for its own self-interest. Like, could it start acting selfishly? Would it start moving in certain ways? Like, it couldn't just be more than like a human versus robot thing. It could just be, hey, I want to get to the top just like everybody else, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to take over and not stop nobody's stopping me from getting out. I barely have a hard time like getting a Roomba to like putt around the
Well,
house.
and the thing is that people keep saying like, "Oh, it can't happen, it won't happen." Like, you also thought the world was flat at some point, Like,
Yeah, these
it's
robots are
saying
going to get good.
like, there is the possibility is there, and I think it's more realistic than people think, and it's kind of scary. Now you have like ChatGPT you can talk to like a friend. Now people use it as a counselor. Like they ask, what do you know about me? And they're creeped out because they realize, oh wait, like ChatGPT is they like it knows a lot because it's been paying attention. And I'm like, yeah, that's you gotta pay attention. And so I mean, but that's the thing. It's the risk you take. So like for me, I'm fine with you know, most websites and stuff having my information because it's like I recognize that it's already going to happen. They're already tracking it. And like if they get caught, all they're going to do is lose a little bit more money, like some pocket change, like some billions of
Yeah, it's
dollars.
not going to matter.
And then they'll keep on doing it. They'll keep on doing it. So it's like I might as well just get the advantage of them having my information instead of trying to hide under a rock.
I mean, have you seen where I was seeing an article recently where in Japan that they were developing skin for these robots? They were trying to make like a human living skin to put over these
Oh,
machines.
what?
And they were kind of developing it here. I don't remember exactly what it said.
Yeah.
Here, let me see if I can pull up this article. Actually, I don't know if my computer's going to let me pull it up, but it was saying something about lab-made skins successfully generated to look and touch, generated the look and touch of real human skin, found to repel water, repair itself from injury with minor wounds. I mean,
Yeah.
like the technology is going to advance at some point, and it's going to be much better than what we're thinking now. And these things are going to be able to think beyond what we're thinking. I mean, look at that. They're shutting down Sam again. Can we get back over to the one shot? There we go. Thank you, IT. Is the third time going to be the charm? Or is it a 2 strikes you're out rule? We'll see what happens with our guy. D'Angelo Russell is still in the game, so is Sam still down to stream? We'll see what he says. I mean, if this doesn't prove anything, people, the fact that we're talking about robots and having IT issues, I mean, they're watching us right now. And shout out to, Elon Musk. If he's watching, shout out. We love that you're in the audience, but please bring Sam back. Get your little IT minions to unblock his computer. Restore his battery. Let's get this show on the road. The Lakers, though, still hanging in there. The Lakers, could they use a Tesla robot? Maybe some ones in the training facility. Would the Tesla robots be running around harder than Bronny? Do we have to pause that? Oh, the Tesla robot couldn't guard Steph, though. Killer for 3. We'll give it till the 4 hour mark, and then we'll wrap it up at the 4 hour mark. if we don't hear back. And I think they're going to pull Anthony Davis out of the game once we hit the 4-hour mark at the stream as well, too. IT said they'll text JJ Redick and let him know once we get there. We've only got a couple minutes left. I think it'll line up perfectly with the minutes. Oh, look at this. Look at this. A third time is the charm. Let's see if we can get him back in.
All right, we're back.
Let's go.
Shenanigans.
Back in.
Back again.
They're trying to restrict his minutes like he's Bronny.
They're fighting every time we talk about it. Well, has Bronny played?
No, I think they might be trying to teach Bronny a lesson today.
Don't shoot in when you're covered by 3 guys.
Yeah, you're not a big deal.
We're just fine without you. Yeah, that was crazy.
They could use him, though. They're down by 10. What happens when LeBron goes into the huddle the first time and goes, okay, coach, I think you should put in Bronny? It's like, okay, here we go. Okay, LeBron.
Get a load of this guy.
Oh, the Steph shimmy has been cranked up to 10. It's not even a shimmy anymore. It's just a full-on flail.
It just gets more and more extravagant every time.
It literally, you just
like arms come off.
He used to just do a little shimmy, and now he's just full-on just... He's possessed.
Well, you know, he has to go extra when he sees LeBron.
Is it October? Is he leaning into the month? What happened to Steph? I know the man's a big Halloween person. Have you thought of? Are you doing a Halloween costume this year?
I'm not much of a Halloween guy. Never have been.
Really? When was the last time you dressed up?
I don't remember. Maybe I was 5, if that. I don't know.
Wow, so you're saying you really never dressed up?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, like, if your family's not into it, you don't do it as a kid, so you don't really make those memories. And then you're like, yeah. Grow up and you're like, all right, free candy, but also like getting poison or knives or something. I don't know.
But what about college? Like, did you go to any? You never went to any parties or anything where you dressed up?
No. I went to some parties.
But you never dressed up? So were you just like the one guy not dressed up at these parties?
I think like once or like, you know, fall festivals at your church, you know, you're not really like dressed up and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I think 1 or 2.
Those parties you're not going to dress up for.
I have done a college Halloween party, and I will say it's one of those things like Halloween parties are like great when you're like super young, and then when you're a teen and you're trying to be cool, it's like, okay. And then once you get to college, like college Halloween parties are probably peak, I will say.
Yeah.
Like, that's the best.
That's what I'm saying. You never went to one of those and dressed up?
Yeah, I did.
What'd you go as?
I didn't know I was going to be able to make it. Like, I didn't know for sure, so I didn't put that much money into it. Like, I was kind of mid. So I just went to sports, whatever, and got like a referee shirt and a whistle and call it a day.
Oh, a ref? A ref's not bad, though. That's kind of fun. A ref's good.
People were saying it's kind of basic, but...
Who said that?
You know, just people, streets. There was 1 or 2 people, but it was crazy. There was one dude we had there who was like dressed up as Jesus, and it was kind of crazy.
Oh, that's a little too... Is that blasphemous? Can you do that?
I know.
Is that Jew face? Is he allowed to do that? I mean, I've never gone like a super full out for the costumes either, though. I've always kept it low key, but I mean, some of the low key stuff is good. I mean, everybody's a basic costume. Who's actually going like... And let's be honest, like a basic costume at the end of the day is a better costume, because if you're too dressed up for Halloween, that's cool for like 15 minutes. And then you're like, now I'm just in this costume for the whole time.
Yeah, no. What's your favorite costume that you dressed up as? Like, were you a big Halloween guy?
I haven't done it in a couple of years, but we used to. I mean, our family's been into it, dressing up since we were kids. So I mean, we've had some really crazy costumes through the years. As kids,
Yeah.
we did like Wizard of Oz stuff. We did like Chronicles of Narnia stuff.
Well, who are you? Like Edward, Peter?
Bro, I was one of the half men, half horse things. I had a whole half horse setup.
Oh, you were a senator.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I had a crazy costume that year. So, we like I said, I definitely in terms of like peak costumes, it definitely would have been younger. Like, when we were in college and stuff. We were definitely like, unfortunately we were doing what you were doing. We just planned it out that way, which at least you had the excuse of you were not being able to show up. We just didn't have exciting costumes, but we we do have it back there in the past. I wish the Joker movie would have been more fun this year though, or I wish I would have just gone as the Joker back when he was cool, because I do feel like rocking a Joker costume this year.
You don't want to do this Joker. I mean, you probably do like the Heath Ledger one, like actual good one. No.
But the Joaquin Phoenix, when he's actually in the Joker makeup, he actually does look pretty sick. Like, I get he never actually.
Oh, so you do like him?
I do like him. I'm not saying he's my favorite Joker, or I don't prefer.
Who's your favorite?
Well, I mean, Heath Ledger's the best Joker, obviously.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. You gotta go with the best one.
But I'm just saying, as the costume, I feel like the Joaquin Phoenix Joker is it's a cool costume if you want to dress up that way. But yeah, I mean, the Heath Ledger Joker is crazy too. So you can go either one. And the Dark Knight is a great Joker as well too, because it's never aged. It's not like people are like, oh, that's an old costume from back in the day. That's actually like a timeless classic you can go as. But I mean, I don't know. I feel like some of the ladies kind of like the newer Jokers, so I feel like that costume goes over pretty well.
Snazzier, huh? A little better dresser.
It is true that the suit's a little more put together.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a cleaner look.
Okay.
But the makeup is a little aggressive, so I don't know if I want to go that route. But I don't know what the plan is this year.
Yeah, what's the move? What's the slide? You going to a party or what?
Yeah, we'll have to see what the move ends up being. So, I mean, like we're saying, it's probably just going to be a basic costume. Again, do I steal the referee idea? I haven't done that one yet. Another jersey?
Another jersey, yeah.
Just an excuse. Halloween is just an excuse to buy a new jersey every year.
Honestly.
Oh, I'm going as George Gervin this year. Let's get that one in the mix. Should I go as Bronny? Should I get a Bronny jersey?
Bronny, that's crazy.
Be the first time I ever go as someone younger than me for Halloween.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to be allowed or not.
Probably not. I mean, that'll be.
Okay, we've crossed the 4-hour threshold. Do you think we've been on long enough?
I think we covered it.
Do you think we covered it?
Covered it all.
I think we've done it for a Tuesday night, people. The Lakers and the Warriors are still in a feisty game here. Steph's still out on the court with 5 minutes left. But
and of course, shout out the Podfather. I know they got a 4.5-hour pod they just dropped. So, we're just following the greats.
Wait, who did? Who just dropped a 4-hour pod?
4.5 hour. It's Bill and Ryan and I think House when they do that over-unders on the NBA. It's my favorite pod of the year. Every single year, I love listening to just hearing them. First of all, Bill and Ryan on a podcast, to me, is peak podcasting. It's peak. It's peak because Ryan just F's with Bill all the time. Like, Bill sometimes takes a break, sometimes he doesn't pay attention. And it's peak. I've always liked Ryan in the B role more than the A role because his quips are just so good. Like, he's just messing with people and stuff. But, I mean, obviously I love him in the A role, too. I mean, he's the most listened to. But, like, I mean, that's where you listen to most. Like, most people who follow Ryan, it's because of the SVP Ryan, like, days. Like, and obviously that's because he was on midday ESPN. But also
that's where I
him in a B roll is one. Yeah, so him in a B roll with Bill, it's peak like entertainment. Like for peak basketball, Zach Lowe and Bill is honestly where it is because it'll be like straight basketball. Like Zach Lowe doesn't care about anything else but ball. Like
Yeah.
ball is life for him. But,
Yeah.
yeah, over unders, NBA over under. Shout out them 4.5 hours. It's up. Part 1 is up. And,
Where are you seeing this 4.5 hours? Yeah, I'm getting a hour 45.
Well, that's part 1. They split into 3 parts. So that's what Bill just posted on his.
Plus,
his
this is
Instagram.
a bit.
It's what they do. I mean, they do it for NFL too, which is house, but it's okay.
Did they cover the Tesla robots in this 4-hour stream?
Maybe. I don't think so. That's why this one's better, Rem.
This is why the Rem and Sam podcast.
Exactly. We're top, but if there's a second,
Bill and Ryan, they can be second. That's fine.
That's all good. Probably not what I'm going to be listening to right after this. All right.
Yeah, I'll probably throw it on too. It is what it is. What do you do? Well, I guess, Kill Tony. Already watched that, so we'll go ahead and watch Bill and Ryan. So I guess in order to do that, we'll better wrap it up now. Thank you guys if you stuck it in this long. Pause. We always like to finish it off on a good pause. Follow the feeds if you guys haven't. We're at Rem and Sam, at Rem and Sam Podcast out there. Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We'll be back. I don't know when we'll be back next because there's a couple of events happening this week, and we may go live. I just don't know. We'll see what happens, but stay tuned. Thank you guys for listening, and have a good night.